Okay, cut four. So I'm sorry about this ranting a little bit. I'm jumping around a little bit, so I'm trying to organize it better. This is just a rough cut, so we'll go through and try to make a better stream later. But okay, so I want to touch back now. WikiLeaks just published a lot of interesting, distracting info. Nothing against Julian Assange. You're a great guy. I really support you. I've been broadcasting your tweets. I have RSS automated services syndicating all of like these sort of things from activists around the world in autonomous circles, for disseminating the truth and trying to leak and whistleblow on these organizations like that they've tried to bring to light the corruption, the offshore tax havens with trillions of dollars, the World Bank debt system, the jackal system, the economic hitman system, John Pilger and other people. I want to give a shout out to Chats Frats and there's so many, like John Tellinger. There's lots of people, sorry, but lots of people deserve credit, and I can't shout out to you all, but I want to try to bring full circle into what's going on. So WikiLeaks has published this NROL leak before. Now I wish you would follow up on it because this organization is really important. Now they're funding for the last couple launches. I mean, their budget in general is $24 billion a year. I mean, this is a massive organization, and they're launching spy satellites, and they can track anyone around the world. They can launch space weapons. I mean, these are space weapons, satellites. They're not just like tracking your phone calls like the NSA and stuff. They can do everything. They can, who knows, blast lasers or whatever. Remember 11 years, coincidence, 11 before 9/11, 2001, 11 years before, George Bush Sr. gave a talk about how we need to prepare and protect ourselves from a threat outside our world, and they started launching this NROL space weapons program. Now this NROL, if you look at the symbols and the patches of the military badges and the stickers on the side of the rockets, outside of the satellites, they are all like evil worshipping kind of cartoon characters, and they're joking about, like, if you translate the Latin on the side of the stickers and the logos and the posters that they do, they are basically laughing in your face, and they're trying to say that they own you. Like, one of them is the Cthulhu octopus, and its tentacles are wrapped around the world, and it says that nothing is beyond their reach. And they're basically trying to say that you are enslaved here on this planet, and you're not gonna get off the planet. That's what they're trying to do. They're not trying to protect us from outside people who are probably trying to save us. I'm saying that there's probably people who are trying to hurt us, maybe from outside, and there's people who are using the outside to make this a prison, and they don't want us to leave this planet. That's why we keep using oil when we have 0 point energy. We have electric grid, solar power. We have geothermal energy that can produce. We have like many different sorts of free energy that I will go into later for the off-grid sections. But we have all this energy that's abundant, but they use nuclear weapons and nuclear energy for what? We got Fukushima disaster for almost 4 years now, polluting the ocean, and they keep dumping thousands of gallons or liters of radioactive waste into the oceans. Sorry for ranting about this, but it all ties together. Basically, they're trying to enslave you on this planet, and NROL is one of the head of this elite NWO organizations. and they receive massive fundings. The other one is the U.S. Department of Energy, which is focused on in this kind of insulting show called Stranger Things. It just came out of HBO. Also, The Man in the High Castle is another kind of insulting, degrading, in like basically you're a slave to what we're doing, and we're doing it in front of your face, and if you don't know about it, it's because you're ignorant, but they're just trying to rub it in your face that you're a slave to their system, and that they want you to understand that you're a slave also. And that's why I'm trying to help you see all of the dots and understand what is going wrong, so that we can stop it, because I'm telling you, we will go extinct if we don't stop it, because these people are psychopaths and they're gonna kill you anyway. So you don't really have a choice. You can either try to stop them, or you can lay down and just get killed by them. That's what you got for options. So NROL is one of the groups. Now they have all these underground bases where they're doing these genetic clones. They got tunnels all over the world, which they call the octopus. And these tunnels connect with multi-layer, some of them go 20, 30, 40 stories under the ground. I'm not going to claim exactly how many, because you have to look at the architectural blueprints that they've been leaking out. But the Disclosure projects, the Basis project, Disclosure Leaks is a group of insider admirals, generals, Navy, everybody. They're trying to blow the whistle on what's going on in these bases, what's going on in these government programs, and all of these organizations work together. They're combining the research, their whole system. So I'm going to list some of the names of the corporations, and you can Google them, and I will provide links for all of them, and I have other slideshows in the other playlists, so that you can see that there is really these bases going on. They have drilling, high-tech drills that are like 20, 30 meters in diameter and 10, 20 meters, and they can like melt the sides of the rock into a perfect cylinder or into a perfect circle for the tunnels. They're so advanced, these drills, like Bechtel. Okay, so the companies are Parsons Corporation, the Ingersoll and Rand Corporation. They do refrigeration. Parsons does a lot of the coordination, architecture, construction, planning, and the funding. There's URS, which owns a couple of these other organizations. Black and Vetch is a construction organization. There's Bechtel, Rand Corporation, Lineage Logistics, which I believe is like transporting some of the cloning materials from like Avatar Corporation, who I believe has some of the chemicals that are using this. Like, this is a combined psyop. Like, it's really crazy, and there's so many layers to what's going on to keep us deceived and to keep us enslaved under their control. So they have nanotechnology, femtotechnology, this black goo people are talking about now. Like Max Spears is leaking from super soldier information about projects. It's called the Ubermunch during Operation Paperclip during World War II. After World War II, the Nazi scientists were recruited into America for government projects. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory run by Jack Parsons, who I believe is part of the Parsons Corporation until he died. But yeah, like, Parsons is the one who invented Babylon Working Project and the Moonchild Ritual and Starfire Ritual, and he was part of the OTO, which is a very top golden dawn of the Illuminati. He is Illuminati. He was a top Nazi scientist, ex-Nazi scientist, recruited into USA, and part of his like notebooks talk about this Moonchild Golem project, about making clones from fetuses that were aborted early. Now, they don't go into detail and explain all of it, but yeah, basically scientists have come out and said that they can do cloning from Proteus syndrome defeated fetuses, from inbred fetuses, and they're called Proteus effect. They put it through a nanotechnology virtual system, and then they got synthetic clones, and this is called the Proteus effect cloning process. And that is what I believe is going on around the planet right now, is we're involved in this sort of system, and they run it through the underground, and who knows how far the underground goes. So they have bases all over the world. Now, there are transnational corporations. We're talking billions and billions of dollars. They got ones under the oceans. One of the main ones that they started with the Nazis was the Montauk Project. There's various groups and sub-projects that they have. One of them is called Mannequin Project at the RFA base in England, and USA had projects. There's so many sick and disgusting projects. I'm just telling you, that is what is the big problem, is that people don't really understand what they conceal underground and inside their classified national top security briefings that you don't have the right access to, and that you can't do a Freedom of Information Act, FOIA request on these files, is because they don't want you to know what exactly is going on and what they do. They replace people. They can kill people in assassination programs, Manchurian candidate programs, super soldier programs, DARPA programs. They have like so many different programs. One of them is DARPA Haptics, BrainGate, where they have successfully been able to read people's minds. NASA also confirmed this. They can read your thoughts with implanted nanotechnology that they probably are spraying, this Morgellons that people are having, is these fibers, nanofibers, in the clouds, in their food, in the water. There's barium and strontium. They can basically turn you into an antenna, and then they bounce this femto technology signals to control people, and they can control people. I've seen them do it. I don't personally think that they can do it to me, but I do know that they probably can hypnotize me because I'm one of the source genetic codes, and we are easily hypnotized, and that's why I'm part of this program. We also have psychic abilities in Rhesus Negative, and that's part of the Psi program. ESP, espionage, extrasensory perception, meaning psychic powers. They can basically use this to figure out how to win over us, how to control us, and that's what they do with all their money. The U.S. Department of Energy, in the TV show Stranger Things, is trying to mock what is going on inside these. Basically, they're admitting that they do these MK programs, and there's an innocent girl who escapes from this lab. She's got superpowers and psychic and everything, can move, telekinesis and all this stuff, and they're just basically torturing her in this facility. And that's what the US Department of Energy does. They do nuclear research, they do physical testing, they do genetics research. The Genome Project was built and started by the US Department of Energy. You guys got to understand that that's why they're so interested in this information, because they're trying to make sure that we never break the codes. We never break our genetic code, and we never break the programming that they have everybody under. And I'm not trying to scare you, but it is something that you have to understand. That's the archetype system, and there's hierarchies and groups that control groups within this system. There's other projects, the Philadelphia experiment, the Pegasus project, this Ubermensch, all of these things, NATO, Operation Gladio. Like, these super soldier programs are serious. They do serious research and genetic testing, because it's like, why would you try to waste someone's life when you can send a clone and you can copy them over and over again and have them fight and kill people, and you don't lose any money, and people don't lose their children, and you have an indispensable, expendable resource at your fingertips, a genetic copy, and it can go around killing people for the government, Manchurian candidate, and they can do this to control the masses, to make you live in fear. And they've already succeeded in doing most of this because most of you sadly don't want to even tell me.